Hey guys, what's going on? I'm going to do part 3 to my ChartPrime series. So ChartPrime, the trading view indicator, you can see this video, I did part 1 here. This was on the pattern detection part of it, so looking at the wedges and the breakouts and stuff from that. That's a good video, go and check that out if you want to learn how ChartPrime can detect your patterns for you, your head and shoulders, your wedges, your triangles, your flags, all that kind of good stuff. And then just the other day I did ChartPrime Market Oracle, which is the part 2 video here. That was on their main indicator system, so the buy and sell that you'd expect on the TradingView indicator platform. And so definitely check that one out as well. Today I'm going to talk about the Prime Oscillator. So all of these TradingView indicator systems come with Oscillator parts of the package, and this one's no different. So if you hang around, I'm going to talk about that, see if it's any different from what you'd get with other similar systems. Before we get started, I want to make sure you guys get a chance to sign up for our free course, which is Learn How to Win 90% of Your Trades in Just 90 Seconds. This is option selling, everything from spreads to selling naked puts. If you want to learn more about this is a free training course on it. You can get the whole thing. It's an email course at the link in the description below. So definitely check that out. It's well worth it. It changed the way I trade. You can win really a high percent amount of your trades, sometimes even more than 90% of your trades. Just by changing a few simple things with options. So definitely check that out if you're new to that. That's well worth it. The other thing that's going really well at the moment is Nate Bear's Profit Surge Trader. Nate Bear turned $37,000 into $2.7 million trading, a similar strategy to this one. This was part of his overall strategy. And he has done really well recently. It looks like at the start of the year he won 27 trades in a row. If you read this right here. And recently he's been at least beating that, from what I've seen, at least that, if not more. And so this guy, like, he's hitting base hit after base hit after base hit. It's really fantastic, really worth it. It's 1 to 3 trades every Monday. He does a live stream at 12 p.m. Eastern time. You can see right here. It's $179 for the year. But the cool thing is it's completely risk-free. He has a full 365-day money-back guarantee, which means if you don't like it for any reason, you can paper trade it to start. And if you don't like it, you think it's not winning enough for you or whatever, you can just get your money back completely risk-free for a whole year. So it's really good. If you like trading, swing trading options, this is definitely for you. So definitely check that out. All right, let's get started. I'll put those links in the description below. And let's get started on the actual Prime Oscillator. So these are all the components for the Market Oracle, the Oscillator Toolkit, and so on for ChartPrime. So it has a lot of components to it, as you've seen from my other 2 videos, but it keeps going. And so for the oscillators, they have 3 oscillators. They have the Trend Fusion Oscillator, which I'll cover in a different video. They have the MVP Oscillator, which I'll do a video on. Today I'm going to do the video on the Prime Oscillator, which is one of the key ones. It's like the main one, it seems like. So you can see the documentation here for the Prime Oscillator. I've also loaded it up on my own TradingView account right here, and we'll go through kind of some of the components. So for you guys that don't know what these oscillators are about, they always have this ribbon form, and they usually have a green band down the bottom, which is overbought, and a red band, which is oversold up the top here. And you can see that on the chart here of SPY on the daily. We have this red and green band. And the first thing you use this for is turning points, right? So when things are really overbought or really oversold, then you can get an indication of where the market might be going. So the real powerful thing here is not so much timing your entries and exits on a micro scale, but kind of getting a macro idea of the macro trend overall. So if we look through some of the stuff they have here, so green obviously is bullish, so the market's going up, and red is when it's bearish. The first thing they talk about are the OBOS zone, so that's the overbought and oversold that I was talking about. So you can see these. I'll zoom in on an example. Let's do this one right here. Actually, this one will work just fine. So you see how it says oversold here, and we're down at this green band. The idea is that the ribbon's starting to cross here, so it's starting to expand again. You've had 2 little yellow bars, which apparently that's just keeps going if it's oversold. So you'll see sometimes these are 3 or 4, and the more there are, the more oversold it is. In this case, it was just 2. But you can see that we immediately got a nice trend reversal. So we'd been coming down here, and right at the bottom here, so there's not much lag at all, we started to see these oversold signals here, and a bounce off this green oversold green line, and you can see that the trend for the next 10 days or so was up. So definitely works pretty well on the longer time scales. The opposite is true on the overbought. If it's you get this sell off, you know, when you're overbought for a while. So they have a variety of different things here. They have divergences. If you don't know what divergences are all about, I would Google it because it's an interesting topic all by itself. But if we click on the signal here, this is the menu that you get with the oscillator. So like I said, there's these three main ones. We're talking about the prime oscillator today only. Otherwise, this video will be too long. I like to keep the videos short and to the point. So these are the prime oscillator settings right here. So you can add the divergences in. So if you want to look up what bullish and bearish divergences are, if you don't know what they are, it adds that to the chart as well. It's looking like it's not really adding it at the moment though. Maybe it takes a while. See if it's adding anything. Nope, nothing. There we go. Took a while. Okay, so let me just go through this. So the divergences, there is none on this chart at the moment. Bands on. So they have two bands here. They have the ribbon that we're just showing, but they also have these broader bands, which are the macro picture as well. And they actually have a significant thing called the band break, which is this thing. So when the small ribbon starts to break through the larger ribbon, there's an indication that the trend may be changing. So it's marked by a dot. To be honest, I haven't found these particularly useful. I don't see that they actually work that well on the chart. But I'm not a huge fan of these oscillators anyway. Overall, I don't find them that useful. So you'll probably get a negative sort of feeling from me from this video overall. You can do different color coding stuff like usual, so it's very customizable. Let's look and see what it does on like the shorter time frames. So this is the daily chart. 5-minute chart might be a little bit more useful to see some of the stuff on. So this is just the ribbon. You can see like it turned green here, went uphill. So did the price action quite a bit. Not significantly, but decently. Here the ribbon turned red and we had a sell-off, which is nice. You can see we're also overbought at this point as well. So you could use this in conjunction with your own trading strategy or something else. One of the other parts of this oscillator system, this ChartPrime system, to add to confluence. By itself, it's not enough, in my experience. And this one is very standard compared to most of the other ones out there. There's nothing different or spectacular about the oscillator package from what I can see at all so far. Maybe I'll find that that's different in the other two oscillators, but this one is very bog standard, nothing impressive about it so far whatsoever. Let's see if we can add some divergence stuff here now that we have things working. Let's see divergence. There we go. So you can see it starts to add the divergence lines in. I think red is bearish and green is bullish. So you can see the divergence lines are being added in. And these are basically when the price is going one way and the oscillator is going the other. And you can see we have oversold right here, divergence coming in, and then we've started to rebound nicely. The oscillator as well as the price action. So it's not that this doesn't work, it's just by itself it might be a little bit tricky to really justify following completely. It's more of a trend indicator, an idea that if you're already, say for example, overbought, you might not want to be going long at this point, right? Because it's already overbought. And so you might want to start filtering the other signals in ChartPrime or any of these other systems that you have based on the oscillator direction. So it's definitely useful, but to a limited degree. So we talked about the bands a little bit. There's not a lot else to say about the prime oscillator here. It works in all time frames. Let's try the 1 minute. So some more examples here. This is overbought. You can see a little overbought symbol there. And true enough, like this was overbought and it sold off until it said oversold down here. So the 1 minute chart's actually pretty nice on this. And you can see there was a lot of time when it was oversold. It's saying it's oversold, it's oversold, it's oversold, it's oversold, and then it started to bounce. So yeah. So they match up fairly well. The ribbon works fairly well as well. But nothing super impressive about this. It certainly doesn't stand out to me from other systems really at all. I mean, it's nice. I mean, you can see it working here again. So we're up the top of this part. We're overbought here. It starts to signal that way back here before it starts selling off, and then it starts selling off. So definitely works, and it's definitely a good component to add to your trading. But by itself, I wouldn't say that the oscillator for any of these systems, but ChartPrime included, like any of these systems, the oscillators by themselves are not standalone signals. There's one other thing here, which is apparently is this blue dot. So these blue dots indicate peak finds. Doesn't look like it works that well to me though, from what I can see. They're pretty rare to see, but I can see these don't particularly seem like peaks. At least this one doesn't. This one here, maybe. But honestly, it's something that I don't really think is super valuable for that stuff. So hopefully that's helpful. These overbought and oversold signals. Hopefully it's just another part of ChartPrime. So far, overall, my impression of ChartPrime is it's really good, but it is more on the expensive side compared to a lot of these other systems. But overall, it definitely works, and there's definitely multiple components to it that can be used together. So I'll probably do some videos soon, after I go through the other oscillators, talking about how to combine the oscillators with the actual signals from like the Market Oracle Pro part of it. So you can kind of start to put together a whole picture of how you might use this thing. Anyway, so far, I'm impressed with the oscillator system here, but I'm not like overly impressed. It's good, but it's not amazing or anything revolutionary, especially compared to the competitors. Hopefully that's helpful, and I'll talk to you guys soon.